What is going on, guys? It is your boy TKD123 here, back in your place in stores. This is, of course, Save Slot Podcast, episode 18, the weekly news show about any and all things PS5, PlayStation games, and PlayStation itself. With me, of course, my luxurious co-host, the Ragnarok. How are you doing, good sir?
I'm doing well. How are you?
How bad are your allergies every year? Like, is that like a problem that you have to deal with necessarily, or no?
Absolutely.
Really? Okay.
It always hits on my birthday. So my birthday is the beginning of March, like the turn of the season from winter into spring around here.
Right.
And every time I wake up on my birthday, when you wake up on your birthday, you feel almost like almost an excitement, kind of. It's like, today is my birthday, that kind of deal. Like the realization, it's like, this one day a year that belongs to you.
Today's my birthday. Like, it's such a somber.
I always wake up on my birthday every year for the last 10 years at least. My eyes are watering, my nose is stuffed, my asthma's in overdrive. It's like, damn, fuck, it's my birthday.
God damn. Me, it's like I feel a nice healthy like jolt of my body, upgrading to another year. Or I guess downgrading. No, we're still upgrading. It's like what, like 35, then it starts going downhill, right?
I don't remember the exact year, but I think it's in your mid-30s. If I had mid-30s, okay. It's either mid-20s or mid-30s, where your cells start to die out faster than they can reproduce. So then you start to die.
That's so fucking morbid, bro.
I mean,
oh man,
we out here.
No, man. I appreciate the honesty. I think we all need it. Hey, like at a certain point, we're all just dying slowly. You know what I'm saying? Like killing me softly, Lauryn Hill type style. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Those that know that reference, I really appreciate you.
It's a good song.
You. Oh, come on, man. Yeah. Who hates the Fugees? You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm gonna say.
No one
really.
Worth knowing.
I agree. But let me try to clear my throat before I say this housekeeping. Housekeeping here. Catch the show here on youtube.com/plays and source, as well as podcast services like Apple Podcasts, Google Play, Spotify, etc. via our anchor link in the description. Like the video and rate the podcast to help us get seen by more viewers so we can grow the PSS family. Down below as well, you can let us know what you like or dislike about the show and connect with us further on Twitter and Discord in the description. If you're feeling generous, feel free to hit that join button to become a member of the channel with the $1 Prince tier, like Tapiwa Musa and Gameplay Sir, and our $5 King tier members just like Caleb Kaiser, Iraq Knight, Psycho Sean, Stadia Vet Gaming, and Owen. Of course, you can check out the stream series throughout the week. We did no MGS, but I think we may be streaming Metal Gear Solid Ground Zeroes this upcoming week. Maybe. I have to check with the boys. I think we're gonna do it this week instead of like the week after. But I did stream Resident Evil Village. We will talk about that a little bit, and I do have to continue that. So expect Resident Evil Village streams this week as well. But of course, leave us some podcast reviews, all the good stuff. I'm not gonna check today. You know what? Give me a reason to check. I want you guys to write a podcast review, tweet at me, right? Either at PSSourceVids or what's my at on Twitter?
TKD.
I think it's.
The TKD.
I think it's
123.
Yeah, it's at the KDS 123. Yeah. Tweet at whichever account. Tell me, hey, I left a podcast review, King. You know what I'm saying? And definitely call me King. All right. Shit, pissing me off. If in case you missed it on the channel, we did a Horizon not Zero Dawn. I keep saying Horizon Zero Dawn Forbidden West. I keep doing that.
That's a mouthful.
It's annoying. I'm saying both games at once. It's like my boy. Oh, and then it gets worse for Ragnarok because the DLC for Horizon Zero Dawn is called Frozen Wilds, another FW type of naming convention. You know what I'm saying? It's
shame.
Too much. It's too much. But Horizon Forbidden West speculation, we did that in the beginning of the week when it got announced for the state of play, which we will talk about at the later end of this episode. And then you can also check out my Resident Evil Village stream up on the description down there if you want to check that out. And the PS Plus games, I might as well just run through them right now. You'll be getting Star Wars Squadrons, Operation Tango, and Virtua Fighter 5 Ultimate Showdown. Do any of these PS Plus games for June 2021 speak to you, Arachnite? You know what I'm saying? You're going to check out Squadrons, maybe? You know what I'm saying?
No. None of them stick out. I bought Squadrons at launch.
Oh, you already played it. Okay, all right.
Yeah, I bought it at launch, and I was like, really? Already?
Yeah, it's a perfect PS Plus game, right? But like, it's pretty hard to like tell someone not to play a game, even if it's on PS Plus. Like, it's free, why not? But Squadrons it's aight. It's aight.
It's very aight.
It's not bad. It's just like what hurt me the most is like when you bring in Hera, right, or certain other Rebels characters. Like I'm expecting some lore about them, like what are they doing now, and we just didn't get that, right? It was very much like just a story, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know, it just, but I do think it's still fun to play though. It's fun.
Yeah, I realized the futility of playing a flight game on keyboard and mouse. That is something I'll never do again.
Okay, right. Oh, yeah. Like, I assume if you're on a PC, you would probably want like a flight stick or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I just plugged in a controller. Made a world of a difference in enjoyment.
Yeah.
And I also made the mistake of playing on Ace Pilot difficulty, so I was just getting shot down every 5 minutes. Let's see.
I see.
I see. It was good for the time that I played it.
Right. Yeah, I still, I say just try it out. Fuck it.
Yeah.
If you're a Star Wars fan, there's no reason why you shouldn't at least check it out for sure. We of course did our State of Play 12 reaction streams, which was going over Horizon Forbidden West gameplay, which we will talk about in the main topic of the show. But I've been talking for too long. Arachnite, what have you been playing?
Mass Effect.
I figured, right? I'm like, I wonder how many weeks it's gonna be.
We're nearing
until
the
it's
end.
off. Really?
In the last 2 weeks since release, it's been about 2 weeks. It released on Friday the 14th. I have played 76.6 hours.
That's damn.
Like, we really been out here.
You gotta respect it. You know what I'm saying?
Like,
you gotta respect it.
I'm going for a platinum 100% everything run.
So, are you like in the middle of the second game? Are you in the third game now?
Middle of the third game.
Yeah. Middle of the third game. Okay. Is it? Sorry.
No, you go.
I was gonna ask about the ending. Like, is it as bad? But you're not there yet. So.
Well, they haven't changed the ending. They didn't overhaul it. I'm not gonna talk about it. Like, I'm not gonna go into detail about it.
Yeah, because I don't even really know the full context. I just know that people did not like the ending, I guess, and like
there was a lot to be desired, but people like to say Mass Effect 3 in general is a bad game because they didn't like the ending, and I think that's wrong. Mass Effect 3 doesn't hit as hard as 1 and 2 in some areas. However, it's still a phenomenal game. Like, if I could only play Mass Effect 3, like I wasn't allowed to play 1 or 2 for whatever reason, I'd still be happy. I still really enjoy Mass Effect 3. Like,
I see.
These are my favorite games of all time. Like, I'm always going to love them.
Yeah, man. I mean, I beat Peace Walker this week, right? And then I'm going in the Ground Zeroes, I think, next week, which I think is only like an hour long type of thing. And then Metal Gear Solid 5. And then Rising Revengeance, and then my next super long gameplay series is gonna be Mass Effect. So I'm just a few games away, And then in the middle of that, I am playing Ratchet and Clank, and I did decide yesterday that I am like Arachnite. I don't know what your plan is with FF7 Remake Intergrade. I was going to kind of just wait to play it again.
No,
I don't think I can wait. I was at work and I was really thinking about it. I'm like, Kev, you're not going to be able to resist. Like, you can't, Kev. So just prepare for it. Make the time. I'm going to get through all the Final Fantasy 15 content that I haven't got through yet, right? I'm probably going to start that this week. And I'm going to make my plan so that, you know, my, like, offline game is Final Fantasy 7, but my stream game is going to be Ratchet, Metal Gear Solid 5, etc., right? I think that's what I'm going to do, because I don't think I can resist Final Fantasy 7.
I'm playing FF7 Integrate midnight, as soon as I'm able. Like, launch. Yeah. At launch. Like, I need that.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat, man. I thought I could wait. I can't. No. I honestly cannot. I can't. I need to play that Yuffie DLC. I need to see what's going on. I need to see Underground. You know what I'm saying? Sorry, Deep Ground. Excuse me. Deep Ground? Is it Deep Ground?
I don't recall.
We saw Nero. Oh, you didn't play Dirge of Cerberus, huh?
I did not.
Okay, I see. I wouldn't recommend playing it. Just watch it.
You've mentioned.
No, sir. You do not. But other than Mass Effect, you been playing anything else?
Some Knockout City.
Okay, let's talk about that right now. Okay, because it's on my list. How do you like Knockout City, Ragnarok?
Very, very fun. Right? It is a lot of fun. I've been playing it quite a bit with some friends, and it's surprisingly in depth. Like it's easy to learn, hard to master, especially when it comes with catching. Yeah, but your boy's been throwing hands.
Bro, I've only played like a few matches in the pub matches. I did all of the training, and definitely my first two games, like I got my ass kicked for sure. But like I did start to learn, and I'm starting to get the real hang of it. It's really fun, man. It's really fun, bro. It's really fun. How much have you played?
About 10 hours.
Okay, so you're definitely more skillful and more knowledgeable for sure.
Like,
definitely.
I'm excited to see ranked play, but it's one of those games that like you get competitive in, but it's not like, I don't want to say like a true competitive game. It's not like it's not a competitive game that takes itself seriously. So you in turn don't take it seriously. Like if I lose a match of Knockout City, it's like whatever. Like, you know, if
right.
Yeah, you know, you lost. It sucks. You keep moving. But in like other styles of competitive games, if I lose a match, especially if I'm putting in work and I lose, you get a little bitter. Like if I'm playing Counter-Strike and I lose a match and I'm the best in the game, or Valorant that tells you, it's like, hey, you did the best in the game, but you still lost. LMAO. That always leaves me a little bitter. But Knockout City, even like my best game I think was with like a 15 KDR. I put in work. Damn. And we still lost.
Yeah. I got one win. I got the like game winning hit, the game winning knockout, I guess I should say. To me, like, this game, okay, tell me if I'm wrong, because you're definitely way more experienced in this game, right? Like, I feel like Knockout City has a similar type of multiplayer energy to like a Smash Bros. Hear me, right? Like,
it's a party
in terms
game.
Of like, yeah, like, you know what? That's a way better way of putting it. Like, I feel like it has party game vibes to it. You know that, like, above all else, like, even if you're losing and getting shit on, like, it's still fun to play. At least from what I've experienced I've played multiplayer. Maybe I did like an hour-long session yesterday morning before work. You know, so not like a ton of time. But I still think it's a really, really, really good game for sure. I think, you know, it's really good. I love that off the jump there's crossplay, there's cross progression. That's a really good thing for a game like this. I think it's smart for them to do this 10-day trial. It's almost up. I think it ends on Monday, so we have like a few days left. But I think that was a very smart move as well, just to get the people talking about it. we gotta pose the question, like, does this game have long legs? Is it gonna end up dying in a few months? Like, is it like, are we gonna still talk about Knockout City in August at all, or is it going to be what I would call like an Among Us type of beat where people still play it here and there, like it's still a thing that people play, just not as intense as like the first few months of Among Us. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm wondering where it actually ends up on that whole spectrum. But I think it's fun. I really think it's fun. I don't know about you. I'm gonna buy this game when it comes out, just off of just wanting to support the game and just how fun it is. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not saying I'm gonna dump like 50 hours into the game, but I'm definitely gonna have it on deck just in case. Just in case I want to play some dodgeball.
I bought it.
Go ahead. Oh, congratulations!
Thank you.
Wait. You can buy it right now, huh?
Yeah.
Okay. I've just been playing the free trial. I'll buy it when it's out. I'll buy it when it's out. I'm in no rush. But how much is it again? $20?
It's like $10 for the base game.
Holy shit. Okay, wow. Yeah, that's way worth it for sure. Oh yeah, that's cool. That's cool, man. And I saw they were doing like tournaments already, and there's like already, a whole type of like competitive thing already set up for it. Like they really have a good thing here, and I don't think that it like debuted as well in the trailers, right? Like I remember even me and you were like, yo, like this game looks like it's gonna fucking die in like 2 weeks, But look at us all being wrong. It's a good game. Good game. You love to see it.
You truly do.
You love to see it. Mm-hmm. Anything else you've been playing?
No, just something I've been doing lately, like the last few weeks, is like if I had a long day or something, I'll end the day with some Spider-Man Remastered. Like I'll mute the in-game, like everything in-game. I'll pull up my Spotify playlist. And like just vibe out a little bit, like maybe have a drink, and just relax for the end of the day, and just like swing around New York and take some pictures in Spider-Man Remastered. Like,
yes, sir.
That's how I've spent like half of my hours in.
Amen. I feel it.
I love this game's photo mode. I think it's exemplary.
I still haven't played through Spider-Man Remastered. That's upcoming though. That's upcoming when we get Spider-Man 2 date. You know what I'm saying? Maybe yeah. It's definitely on the deck of cards, like what I'll be streaming for sure. Because I want to do that, and then I want to platinum Miles Morales, leading up to Spider-Man 2. You know what I'm saying? Because I already platinumed Spider-Man back on PS4 before the PS5 came out, so that's already done. But I haven't done Miles Morales yet. But I'm really eager to go back to that game for sure. The only thing I noticed, bro, when I spent a little time in Remastered, is that I feel like Peter swings slower than Miles.
Yeah, it's that, like, just in terms of speed, or
yeah, speed. Yeah.
I didn't notice a speed decrease. Peter's a lot more rigid.
Yeah, and yeah, like maybe, I mean, I know probably like part of it is because like the PS4 could not process Peter going any faster, when he's swinging, right? So maybe that code is still left over in the remaster, but then I'm like, well, if there'd been a whole PS5 version, you would assume that they would take those saves off of the speed, but I don't know. It is what it is.
No, what I meant by that is like his rigidity is something with how, like, the air tricks, because in Miles Morales Miles is very animated.
Yeah.
He'll hesitate, or he'll like fall, like, flail around, but Peter is like kind of like a board, which I've noticed like in taking pictures. Like I'll try and get swinging shots, and Peter just looks like a board. And Miles, like, it was always like Miles was always doing like a pose or something eye-catching.
Right.
Peter's very stiff, and they added the air tricks very late in the development, if I recall correctly.
Yeah, I think I heard that too. Yeah, I remember something like that. Well, okay, I see that. And like above all else, like I mean, you could also chalk it up to like Miles being younger. I assume being a little bit lighter, right? If you want to just put that out there, because sure, that definitely makes sense.
Yeah. They talk about it in the DLC. Like Miles is obviously lighter in frame, even to the point where they when they were talking web shooters, Miles had to modify the web shooters a little bit to match his frame. They had to reduce the diameter of the nozzle by a few centimeters or something, or like millimeters.
Yeah, because
he's lighter.
Does it? I forgot. Does Miles tell Peter that, or does Peter tell Miles?
Miles tells Peter that.
Hell yeah.
Because
hell yeah.
I forgot the law, but it's like a pendulum. That's what web slinging is. You're a pendulum.
Right.
So Miles like, oh yeah, I'm lighter. You modified the web shooters to be your frame, but I'm not you.
But not my frame.
Yeah. So I had to do that. And then Peter's like, okay, now I see you're ready for web slinging training.
Good shit. God, I can't wait Spider-Man 2, man. Give us that shit. Come on, man. Ugh. Bro, I'm gonna call it right now. It's gonna be like 2020. I want 2023, but it might be
5 years after Spider-Man PS4.
I mean, we have Miles. You know what I'm saying? Like,
still
Spider-Man Remastered. I assume took a little time. I don't know. Maybe it's sooner. I don't know. We'll see. But I beat Metal Gear Solid Peace Walker.
Let's go.
All right. I haven't sat down and recorded long play yet, so I'm gonna give you an exclusive. All right, Arachnite. Okay.
Let's go.
Ready for it, Save Slot Podcast? This is my exclusive thesis thoughts, if you will, on Metal Gear Solid Peace Walker. It's the best Metal Gear Solid so far. I swear to God. Okay, now, there are stipulations to that. I hold Metal Gear Solid 1 to a very, very special tier, right? Because I think that game is just really, really good. In hindsight, I talked a lot of shit about it when I first played it. I was fucking stupid about it. I was dumb. Metal Gear Solid 1 is fucking amazing, right? I love 2. 3 is trash. We already know that for the most part. Metal Gear Solid 4 started off very, very, very good up until that Act 5. I think the Act 5 makes it slip, to be honest with you. But overall, I still think it's a very, very good Metal Gear Solid 5. I mean, very, very good Metal Gear Solid. MGS4 was at the top of my list before Peace Walker came out. I legitimately think that Peace Walker is honestly above Metal Gear Solid 4. Not by too much, but I would put it above it. And it rivals the story of like the first Metal Gear Solid. I swear to God, dude. Like Peace Walker doesn't like it. It's so weird that it's a PSP game, and it does have a port on PS3, right? That Arachnite. I wish I didn't look at the gameplay for it because, dude, it's in 60 frames. It looks a lot crisper, I almost wish I played it on the PS3 version,
I'm surprised you didn't.
Huh?
I'm surprised you didn't.
Yeah, I mean, I just wanted to just play it on my Vita, play it in the format that it was intended, you know what I'm saying? But in hindsight, I kind of wish I played it off of PS Now. But, dude, the game's amazing, bro. The game is incredible. It is such a better Big Boss. Big Boss is so much better in Metal Gear Solid Peace Walker than Metal Gear Solid 3. It's not even funny. The way Peace Walker blends into MGS3 is really, really cool, man. And it's not like blended in like how in MGS4 a lot of that game is fan service, right? It's a different type of fan service where there's like a deliberate reason in lore, in the story, as to why some things from MGS3 bleed into Peace Walker. And it's this whole thing of like Big Boss coming to terms with taking on the mantle of Big Boss, right? Because I guess like light spoilers for Peace Walker. Maybe this will entice someone to go play it, right? It's 10 years after MGS3, and Big Boss still calls himself Snake. and so tells people to call him Snake throughout the whole game. And then this whole game, things happen, and it ends up being where, you know, he finally accepts Big Boss as his title. You know what I'm saying? And dude, it's fucking great, man. I love the levels. I think that the way the game is designed is very, very good, and it feels like, other than not being able to prone and move at the same time, it really does feel like a console Metal Gear Solid. Like, it's incredible. It's one of my favorite games I played this year, 100%.
Really?
I love it. I love this game, bro. And the mother base management, bro. I loved it. I don't know. Dude, Peace Walker is the one. Peace Walker was fucking amazing, bro. Amazing. Like, the only gripe I can put it at is, like, sometimes the boss battles, they have you doing shit that, like, would be very easy on console and a controller, but you're on a handheld, right? So sometimes those boss battles got hard just off of the nature of just how you're controlling in the game, right? So sometimes that felt a little bit wonky, but I think overall its story is really good. It has a comic book type of cutscene type of layout that's very much like Infamous 1. It's great. I love it. And I spent a little time in Horizon Zero Dawn, you know, just because we got the Horizon Forbidden West gameplay. I wanted to go in and kind of see, you know, how the game stacks up, right? And yes, I booted up on PS5, no 60 frames mode, but you know what, Arachnite? I played it a little bit. I watched the Digital Foundry video from back in the day, comparing the PS4 Pro version to the PS4 version, because the PS5 is running the PS4 Pro version. It's a very, very stable 30. You know what I'm saying? And you know, 30 is 30, right? It's not what we want, but the best 30 is a consistent 30. You know what I'm saying? So if it never gets a 60 frames patch, you know, it's okay. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's not, but it's tolerable. You know what I'm saying, Arachnite?
I can get that.
You know, I mean, at least it's not an inconsistent 30. You know, at least it's not janky feeling.
Yeah, I get that.
So, if I gotta play it in 30 frames on PS5, so be it. You know, but I definitely want to go replay that game at some point in the relatively near future. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, that's pretty much about it from all we've been playing. Oh wait, no, I missed a big one. Jesus Christ, Resident Evil Village.
You talked about it. You briefly talked.
I did?
About it. Yeah.
I did. Okay. All right. Resident Evil Village. Going good. I feel like I didn't. What the fuck? Damn, I'm bugging. All right. Oh well.
Very briefly, you mentioned it.
There was actually no PS5 watch articles that would kind of fit into the template of a Ragnarok PS5 watch. So I mean, I guess, you know, I mean, this is your dedicated section, Ragnarok. If you want to do anything about Ragnarok PS5 watch, feel free right now, off the whim, or we can just continue. You know.
Nothing comes to mind, so let's just keep it moving.
I got my Black Controller coming in here pretty soon.
What's going?
It'll be a time for It should be here in time for Ratchet and Clank. I think it comes in the same day. So very excited to get that for sure. But yeah, that's about it. Going straight into the news here for episode 18. I'm sure Arachnite saw these rumors. There are rumors of a Final Fantasy game that is going to be exclusive to PS5 that is not Final Fantasy 16, not Final Fantasy 7 Remake Part 2, and not the other Final Fantasy game that I can't think about. Wait, 16? No. Yeah, it's not those two. It's a brand new one. It's rumored to be called Final Fantasy Origin. It's going to be a spin-off that is set to be announced at E3. It is being developed by Team Ninja, who did the Neo games. It's said to be in the vein of a Souls game in the Final Fantasy universe, set in the world of the first Final Fantasy game on NES. But it's also meant to not only be like a Souls-like game, but quote unquote like approachable and scalable for those that still want to play but don't want that super big challenge and everything. So they say here, yeah, more so for audience. Yeah, that's pretty much the bulk of it. That's pretty much the bulk of it. Apparently, it's imminent. Oh, there's also like an alpha demo that was leaked as well that could be happening later this summer. Arachnite. What do you? I feel like this game is up your alley. What are your thoughts?
I'm excited. If it's everything, like, I do need to play the first Final Fantasy to get some context. I imagine. So, okay. But just on a purely gameplay standard, that sounds like exactly up my alley.
Okay. So, like, I don't know if I would play the first Final Fantasy, but before this, to be honest, like, I kind of want to just, I don't know. But then it's like, Kev, if you think back, you would have loved Final Fantasy VII Remake a lot more than you did if you had the original context. There is that. Okay. Interesting. I do wonder. I mean, you're one to like Souls games, right? You're one to like a challenge, right? Arachnite. You know what I'm saying?
You are correct.
So, do you now have you played Neo?
I have played Neo a little bit.
Did you like Neo?
That is a question.
Oh shit! Oh no!
I don't like Neo's fighting as much, but it's not a bad game.
Okay. Interesting.
Very tame take.
So then, okay. Well, I mean, I'm definitely interested in this. I think even if it wasn't, even if they didn't use the words like, hey, like this game is is rumored to be very accessible for a wider audience and being able to scale for like difficulty and all that, y'all know, I haven't had the most healthy relationship with Souls like games, you know what I'm saying? Other than Jedi Fallen Order, shout out to that king, you know what I'm saying? So there is a question of, hey, Kev, are you actually gonna play this? And it's like, hey, it seems like the good formula is if you give me an IP that I love already and make a Souls game, I'll probably play it. You know what I'm saying? Like, / I'll likely play it. I mean, I was not gonna not play Jedi Fallen Order just because it's a Souls game, right? And I'm definitely checking this out for sure. Definitely intrigued by this. The last question I want to ask you, Ragnarok, is now we have 3 incoming Final Fantasy games, right?
It's a lot of Final Fantasy.
When do you think they all come out? What is the release order, you think?
That, I don't know. I think it's going to be like a trickle, almost.
Okay.
Like, we'll get one here and one there. Because if you release them all within, like, too close to each other, then it becomes too much Final Fantasy.
Right.
Too much of a good thing. So I think we'll see like one here, one there, twice a year at most, within the next few years.
I think that we're gonna see. I think that there's a solid chance still. I know we're weeks away from E3. We're gonna get our answers there, right? But I think that Final Fantasy 16 has a chance at dropping this fall.
Really?
Yeah.
After a remake released last year?
Yeah. It's a totally different team. Yeah. The Final Fantasy 15 guys are working on 16.
Yeah, okay.
And then Remake has their own team as well. So and they're working on part 2, of course, right now. I think there's a solid chance that Final Fantasy 16 comes out this year. If not early next year, I think. But like, I think there's a decent chance. But I'm not totally sold on that. But hypothetically, if it does, I think next year we get this Final Fantasy Origin. Again, this is made by Team Ninja, different studio. You know what I'm saying? So they're only working on this as far as we're aware. And then I think the year after is when we get Remake Part 2. Even though, if it was my perfect world, give me Remake Part 2 next year. And this game the year after. But that's just me. You know what I'm saying? That's just me. But I don't think Remake Part 2 is going to be done until, like, at the earliest, like, 2023.
Really?
Which fucking sucks. Yeah, bro. Goddamn. I'm going to be 25.
I'll be 23.
Oh my God.
I'll be 23.
You're going to be my age.
Wild.
What the fuck?
That's wild.
Age. That'd be crazy.
Time do be passing.
Time do be passing. So yeah, Final Fantasy Origin, very excited for it. We're gonna look out for that for sure. Time to get into some questionable news here, Ragnar. Okay, we got some new looks at the Uncharted movie. We got two things here. One, we got this really generic looking screenshot of what looks to be literally just Mark Wahlberg and Tom Holland looking at something with a flashlight in a cathedral type of setting, which is, I guess, supposed to be them as Sully and Nathan respectively. And then we also got it's like this weird like advertisement for Sony Pictures, right? But around the minute 32 mark, we see moving footage of the Uncharted movie for like 2 seconds. And it's like, what the fuck? What? Why would you, like, like, why you're, dude, why is the first bit of footage that we're seeing of this movie in a Sony promotional video for Sony Pictures is beyond me, quite frankly. Beyond me. Arachnite, dude, do you have any thoughts about this this new revelation of the Uncharted movie?
This movie's probably gonna blow ass, but I'm gonna watch it anyway.
Bro, listen, I'm gonna be there day one. Trust that. Night one. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. I'll be there. I'll support the boys.
I'm watching it at midnight, and if you think that that's not the topic for that week's save slot, you're bugging. Because we're definitely gonna talk about it for sure. But, bro,
it's gonna be
this
bad.
movie.
This
movie's gonna be bad. This movie's gonna be bad. Listen, it is gonna be bad, but I once again, I'll say it every time, reserve the right to cry, because when they play the Uncharted theme, I'm gonna cry. I know me. I know how I am. I'm gonna cry. That. Do we have an Elena casting?
I don't think so. I haven't heard anything about Elena. She might not even be in the movie.
Oh wait, no, she wouldn't have been. No, absolutely not. You're right.
Yeah.
They wouldn't have met yet. Damn, it kind of sucks. Oh no, I mean, you know, it is what it is. That's fine. But
is it though?
Damn, is it fine? I don't know.
Because it doesn't sound fine to me.
This is just gonna be bad, bro. But we'll see. I like Tom Holland, you know, shout out to him, but you know, yeah, this is yeah. I mean, and it's like what I hate about this picture, Arachnite, is that this looks so generic. And if you told me that like this doesn't scream Uncharted, you know what would scream Uncharted, Arachnite? If maybe like they were in like some dark lit room with like, you know, maps on a board or something like that, solely smoking a cigar with a mustache, you know, like that seems like a much more Uncharted type of screenshot to show than this.
Agreed.
You know, I don't know, man, but
it's,
oh well.
I don't know, like it just makes me kind of sad. After this movie was in development hell for years.
It's been a decade.
Yeah. At some point, you just gotta let it die. Like, this feels like like a homework assignment, right? Where it's like, it's due in an hour, you have no idea what you're doing, and you just say, fuck it, send it.
Literally, which I have done that before.
Everybody's done that, and if you haven't, you're a liar. Or responsible.
Yeah. Where it's like, hey, look, man, you know, we're just gonna wing it. You know what I'm saying? We'll see.
That's how I finished my semester. Like, I was doing one of my finals, There was a question, and it's like, even if I get this question right, my grade doesn't really change. Fuck it. Just wrote IDK on the paper, submitted that. Send it.
I got that. Definitely.
Shout out to school.
But yeah, man. So while of course the Uncharted movie is wait, when is that coming out? Does that have a release date?
I don't know. Honestly, I don't care.
When does the Uncharted movie... I'm just curious. I'm just genuinely curious. Okay, I'm seeing February 18th, 2022. Is that official? Is that a real thing?
Is that the move?
I feel like they have it said release date, but according to Google, February 18th, which is near my birthday. So hey, Arachnite, if this ends up being fucking fantastic, hey,
it's a birthday gift.
That is a birthday gift. You know, I think above all else, whether Chloe's casted. Okay, Chloe's casted.
Chloe,
that makes
but not
sense.
Elena.
That makes sense though, to be honest. That makes sense because
Chloe was in Uncharted 2. Uncharted 2 was after Uncharted 1. No,
I mean, you're right, but Chloe's been long established in the what the fuck would you call
the treasure hunting scene?
I was like, are they raiders? Are they thieves? like what do I call them? The like treasure hunting, network, if you will. Yeah, she's been established as like being there for like a very, very long time, right? So I guess that makes sense. I'm sure maybe Chloe knows Sully from back in the day or something like that. I guess that makes sense. That one actually checks out. But you're right. Like, was Nathan's first time meeting Chloe in Uncharted 2? Like, is that how they
with Flynn
projected it? Yeah. I remember, but was that their? I know that was their first introduction in the games, right? But was it their first introduction lore-wise, like in the story?
To the extent of my knowledge, yes.
I forgot. Okay, so maybe it is. I don't know. Fuck it. Whatever. Whatever, man. Uncharted. Next up here. Sony. This is really nothing new. We talked about it a few weeks ago, but I did want to just bring up some more quotes here. Sony is looking to bring some of its IP to mobile. We said this a few weeks ago, but we got some interesting quotes here from Jim Ryan. And he says here that the company now focuses on, a new focus in the company, right? Not its full focus, obviously, is, quote, the expansion of our game development from consoles and PCs to mobile and live services. Quote, we've been thinking about how players enjoy our content and have had some early success with experimenting with mobile games and apps to provide more choice to gamers. Mobile is just one of the areas we are exploring to reach millions of gamers beyond our platforms. PlayStation has a huge catalog of diverse first-party IP that can transition to smartphone gaming and complement our AAA games or live service games. We are exploring the mobile market with some wonderful PlayStation franchises, so please stay tuned. So, over the past few weeks and months and years, we've had the likes of like Run, Sackboy Run, Uncharted Fortune Hunter, and PlayStation All-Stars Island as well. This like weird like promotional app or whatever. But there hasn't been like a ton of like, I think like earth-shattering mobile games like Pokemon Go or something like that, How do you feel about this, right? I know we talked about like last week, but like I did want to come back and just kind of reconvene and just get, just some thoughts with these quotes and everything. Like, do you think this is a wise choice for them to do, Arachnite? What are your thoughts?
I don't think it could hurt.
Okay.
Best case scenario, you have casual gamers that play on their phones and say, hey, these franchises seem pretty cool. Why don't I check out a PlayStation console?
Yeah.
It couldn't hurt.
Yeah.
And it's not like it's like a AAA $200 million investment. They're mobile games.
Right. Yeah. And it's not like they're like really gonna, put, hey, Naughty Dog is not making Last of Us Part 3 right now because they're making this fucking mobile game. Like, it's not gonna be Naughty Dog like making the mobile game. right? Or like any of their first party studios making the mobile game. I assume it's going to be other developers and they're just using their IP within the Sony first party for these mobile games, right? So it's not like they're taking any like development away from the main core of the business, which is those first party PS5 games. So I guess that, but like I don't know, like a part of me also is like, I don't know, man. I think I just have to see what they mean with the first title. Like give me an example of what you're talking about, because like I can't help but shake the notion of like this just feels kind of like a waste, right? And maybe also they're not speaking to me, like maybe they're not speaking to me necessarily, right, with this initiative, right? Like maybe I'm just not the demographic audience that, you know, I have a PS5 and like I have access to these IPs, right? Maybe we can look at it from that standpoint, but I can't help but like think this is kind of just like a waste. You know what I'm saying?
I get that.
I don't know.
We may just not be the intended demographic, like you mentioned.
Yeah, like, I mean, even as weeks go by, honestly, bro, I kind of feel that way low-key about the movies. Like, we have the, you know, confirmation of, like, yeah, we are getting a Ghost of Tsushima movie. We're getting a Twisted Metal series. We're getting a Last of Us series, you know? And it's like, I don't know. Like, I just want to hear about games, but at the same time, once again, like I said before, it's like, it's not like Naughty Dog is making the fucking movie. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm still gonna get the games that I'm looking for. They're just doing more. You know? And that's not necessarily a bad thing if it's not taking away from what I want that they've been doing for years now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, I have a weird feeling about, like, the movies and the mobile stuff, where it's like, it's not necessarily for me, but I feel like it's taking like, I feel like it's low-key a waste, but it might, but I know it's not a waste for like the games. I don't know, man. I don't know, but I just want an example. Like, what would a Last of Us mobile game like look like? What would a, you know, Spider-Man mobile game like? You know what I think would be kind of cool? Like, what if they did like the lab stuff for mobile on Spider-Man?
That's something. I think that even I wouldn't play that.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I think those are kind of fun.
Dude, that's homework.
They're just some puzzles, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like what was that? It's like Bejeweled. You know what I'm saying? Remember Bejeweled?
I don't want to do a spectrograph. Like, imagine like you're waiting like for a train or something. It's like, you want to do a spectrograph? You want to look like a huge fucking nerd?
Hey man, you know, I'm you know, just getting my spectrograph game right. You know, the ladies love spectrographs. You know what I'm saying? I'll be at the club, right? I'm waiting for my margarita. Now Arachnite, is it my second? Is it my fifth? That's no one's concern. You know. But maybe I whip out some Spider-Man spectrograph. You know, that's what the app is called. You know what I'm saying? I'm just, you know, I don't, I would like to partake, maybe.
Would you? I've played Spider-Man, like PS4, multiple times. Mm-hmm. I think I've finished the game like 4 or 5 times.
Okay. After
my first playthrough, I turned on skip puzzles.
No, I mean, I'm... Damn it. I just feel like it would have been better as a mobile game format than like in the game, maybe. Or are they that garbage? Am I forgetting? Because I thought some of them were...
They're not garbage, but they're not fun. Like,
I just find them clever.
It takes a little thinking. It shows Peter's intelligence. It serves as character development and like lore expansion that Peter is able to do this. However, I just want to go swing around. I'm a simple man. I've got simple tastes. Like, I know Spider-Man. I'm aware of him. I really don't need to say, oh yeah, this lore device. I did it the first time. I finished every puzzle the way that, you know, it was intended to be done, you know, actually being done the first time. after that, it's like there's no reason for me to keep doing these. Like I've got nothing to prove to myself. I've got nothing to prove to Insomniac.
Right.
I did your trial. I'm gonna go swing around.
Yeah, no, and like, yeah, I mean, like those are going to be in Spider-Man 2. There's fucking no shot. People do not like those.
I'll take spectrographs any day of the week. I hope they're spectrographs. I hope I didn't just completely miss the mark on what they're called.
We're gonna call them spectrographs. Just hope.
Well, I mean, light spectrum. Like, isn't that what we're breaking down?
I think. Yeah. What the fuck were we doing in Spider-Man? Like,
we were material testing.
Okay, okay, cool. Yeah.
let me look that up. I know
I have no idea, bro.
I'll take dumb little puzzles any day of the week over the MJ and Miles stealth sections.
Yeah, that too. Yeah. I dislike the MJ sections way more than the spectrographs, for sure. Absolutely. I'm gonna just see if you have an answer, but if not.
Yeah, no, they're spectrographs.
Hell yeah. Killed it. Well, yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, no. Those stealth sections make the replays awful. More than once, like, I'll be having fun, and I'll see it's an MJ stealth section, and I'll turn off the game. It's like, I'll do this another day.
Yeah, those are... Excuse me, I'm yawning. Oh, man. Those are not... Like, the Miles ones are a little bit better? Or am I just capping? Like, because, like, he has that hacking ability,
it's
so,
still not fun.
It's not fun. Definitely not fun, but, like, it's a little bit better. And the whole, like, Rhino encounter, I thought was pretty memorable, at least, but, yeah, those gotta be out the game. That's
why they didn't put them in the DLC. They did it in the first DLC, and then everybody's like, please don't put it in the second.
Yep. And they're nowhere to see them. They're nowhere in Miles either, so
yeah,
it's always good.
They knew. They heard.
Oh yeah, definitely. But we'll see how the mobile games shake up on the PlayStation. But next up here, we did get some NPD sales figures for April 2021. Just wanted to give some brief stuff here. So the main two games we're gonna be focusing on is, of course, MLB The Show 21 and Returnal. Now, to keep in mind, MLB obviously was first on the top 20 games for April, and the leading game in just PS4 and PS5 sales for April. And so far it is, let me see, where is it on the... Actually, it's not... Wow, interesting. For the best-selling game so far, it's not on the... Oh, wait, just kidding. Yes, it is. It is number 3 for the best-selling games of 2021 so far. So it's number 3, with number 5 being Miles Morales. That's cool right there. But it is the third best-selling game of the year so far. Now, Returnal is interesting because, keep in mind, these figures for April 2021 are based off of Returnal being on the market for a single day. Alright? Returnal only had 1 day for the numbers to count towards this list, okay? Still, with that 1 day, it ended up being number 8 for the month of April, right? And then for just PS4 and PS5 for April, it ended up being number 3 on the list. And it did not chart for the best-selling games of 2021. So overall, I mean, we're gonna get a better look of it in May, I believe, when those numbers come out, because I feel like the bulk of the crowd maybe bought them in May, I'm assuming, or just more data in May for sure to look out. But I don't know, because we had Mass Effect come out this month. We have Resident Evil as well, so maybe it won't make it chart, but I think it's still pretty good for 1 day being, up on the charts. What do you think? You got any thoughts? Or I know there's not a ton here, but got any thoughts?
No, nothing that hasn't already been elaborated on. It's just, I'm excited to see where things go. Like, it's nothing crazy.
Yeah. I'm just interested. I'm simply just intrigued. Simply intrigued. But next up here, so the next few stories are going to be off of a Sony investor meeting, I believe, that happened this week. So there's a ton of stuff that was here, and this is where we're going to get to the main kind of meat of the news section here. But they did update some numbers involving PlayStation Now. So PlayStation Now has now reached 3.2 million, up from I think like 1.6 the last time we got numbers from it. So there does continue to still be a rise in PS Now subscribers over the course of the few months since they did their kind of relaunch type of thing. I think it was October or September of 2019 when they dropped the price and they started just bolstering started to just put more effort into the service. And that's also reflected in them rolling out 1080p streaming as well to the service. So pretty cool right there. They do say that it continues to be an investment and they want to bring persistent quality content, focus, and top IP inclusion as well. So pretty cool stuff right there. Just cool stuff for PS Now. Again, nothing too crazy to really break down there, but pretty cool right there for PS Now. Now, this is the big one, okay? Like, this is where we got to sit down and talk. A lot of people were talking about this. A lot of people got a little bit up in arms over this. With this investor meeting, it did come to light that Uncharted 4, A Thief's End, will be coming to PC. It got hot in the Discord this week. Y'all should go in there, okay? It was some fun conversations in the Discord. And definitely, when something big happens in PlayStation, the Discord starts lighting up. Like, we just start conversating. Arachnite, what are your thoughts about Uncharted 4 coming to PC?
I think it's great. I don't have an issue with the PCs getting a little love. I don't have it's been 5 years since Uncharted 4 released. It was 5 years this month. And I don't know. I think the age of exclusives, like forever, it's like, oh, the only way you can get this is if you dig up a PS4 or hope they remaster it for a PS5 or PS3 to PS5 or whatever, is kind of over. It should be, at least. Timed exclusives are fine. It pushes people towards a console. And if you don't want to buy a specific console for a specific game, you can wait. But I've been on the receiving end of, it's like, hey, one of your favorite game franchises is Xbox only, not PC, not PlayStation, Xbox. So you want to play this new one, you have to buy an Xbox. And it sucks. I played that one game and never went back.
Which one was it?
Dead Rising 3. Because I love Dead Rising. Well, I loved Dead Rising. Dead Rising 1 and 2 are great. Dead Rising 3 and 3 is okay. And Dead Rising 4 is awful.
I see.
So, I would, if they told me, alright, Marvel is fuck Insomniac. Daredevil is going to be developed by a Microsoft studio. Only in no Game Pass here. Just you have to get an Xbox console to play a Daredevil game. I'm gonna be in that Walmart or GameStop or wherever buying an Xbox begrudgingly.
Right.
And it shouldn't have to be like that, because I would still support the company. It's like, hey, an Xbox developer made this, and you can play it on your computer, or you can play it on, it's your computer or a PlayStation console. They still get my money, and I get what I want. I shouldn't have to shill out a few $100 just to play a game, because I'll never use the console again. More than likely.
Yeah.
So it's consumer friendly. It allows for longevity, because there may be a day where they just don't, one day when we're older, and it's like, hey, we're not gonna gonna remaster Uncharted 4 for the third time. You want to play this game, you got to dig up a PS5 or a PS4 if you want to play it, because we're on the PS8 right now, and we're not gonna dig that up, that old game.
Right.
But on a computer, those games are forever. Mm-hmm. As long as it's compatible with the operating system, that's forever. There's putting a game on a computer pretty much promises its longevity.
Yeah. There's I do want to say that like I think that the next few PlayStation consoles, I believe, will be backwards compatible in a way where you can play the previous gen games, right? Like we have it right now with PS4 and PS5, and I don't know if the PlayStation 6 will play PS4 games. I'm not sure how that's gonna go, but I do wonder about that too. So like maybe that won't be a huge issue, but it probably will be, to be honest with you. Like it probably will be when we start getting 20 years from Uncharted 4's release. Like, will we be able to play Uncharted 4 in a easy fashion?
That's that's awful to think about.
I mean,
I remember when I was 16.
That's what I'm saying.
4 came out.
When you really break it down, right?
We're
25. We're 25% away from Uncharted 4's 20th anniversary.
I'm gonna scream, gamer. Like, you tell me it's like, oh, it's been 20 years. I'm 36 years old.
Wait a minute. Oh my god. Bro, we're 1 year away from the PS4's 10-year anniversary.
I thought that was 2013.
Yeah, next year.
That's 2022.
Oh wait, I'm fucking dumb.
Bro?
We're 2 years away. Oh
Math.
man. Yeah, bro. I'm really dumb.
Good.
So here's where I'm at, right? Like, I do think that there are places for exclusivity, right? And where my angle is why I love a good exclusive, right? And pretty much on any console, right? Not even just PlayStation. That is that they're able to focus on one specific hardware SKU and tailor make the game for that hardware, right? Like, we don't get like the way the DualSense reacts on Returnal necessarily if it was a multi-plat, right? Now, I'm not saying it's impossible, but I think it's a lot more work for a development studio to achieve that, right? It's like, that's what exclusivity brings to the table when you're talking about it from really any single console or platform, etc., right? So that's the angle I take whenever I say like I like exclusives. I don't subscribe to like the fanboy mantra of like, oh yeah, I just like exclusives because it lets me just argue on Twitter and like have a fucking scoreboard of like, these are only games that you can play on PlayStation. Like that shit is just like whack. Like that's not what I mean by being for exclusives. It's for the quality of the games, right? And yeah. I just think it's a lot more streamlined to make a quality game with a lot of features and bells and whistles when it's only one platform as opposed to multi-platform, right? Like, the Xbox does not have haptic. Well, no, they don't have the same DualSense features, right? I forget what they have. I think they have haptic feedback. I don't know. Maybe they do. I forget. But you know what I'm saying there, right? Like there's DualSense features that are not on the Xbox side. So that's one thing amongst a bunch of other things that the PlayStation has or the Xbox has, with like Play Anywhere and all that like they have to take into account for on the Xbox side. You know what I'm saying? So that's number one. And number two, at the same time, I like what they've been doing so far with selecting which games come to PC. The only real outlier has been Days Gone, where like Days Gone I think dropped in 2018 and it came to PC 3 years later. So that's I think the quickest that we've seen a PlayStation game come to PC. Horizon Zero Dawn was 4 years and Uncharted 4 is going to be 5 years, right? I think these games overall, Days Gone is a little bit on the edge, but I think overall it makes sense for these older titles to go on the PC, given that over here on the graphic here in the link down below in the description to all these different stories if you want, but the one specifically for this story, they cite here that the PC version of Horizon Zero Dawn resulted in a 250% return on investment. That's huge. Like, the game is already made. The game is already done. It's just optimizing it and polishing it for the PC, adding these features that are necessary for the PC versions, and it's pretty much a way bigger return on investment than it would be launching a brand new game. You know what I'm saying? Thus, they can use that money to fund more IPs, etc. Right? And also they get to reach countries that, you know, don't have a lot of PS4s, or like in China's case, where, you know, other than a few years ago, we're not allowed to even have consoles in the country. You know what I'm saying? But they are allowed to have PCs, and they have a huge PC base there. So for me, if it's like older games, it really does make sense, right? I'm gonna feel a little bit different, and I'm gonna have different opinions and like different thoughts if it ends up being day and date on PC and PS5 releases. I think there you'll see me have a different cadence and a bit of a different attitude, because I just think that's a whole different dynamic. But if it's older games that have pretty much exhausted their potential sales on the platform that they've been on, whether it's PS4 or PS5, I don't see the huge problem in putting it on PC years after. You know what I'm saying? That's where I'm at.
Tell me about day and date. Why?
I think that if it's day and date, I think that's where I lean a little bit more towards the notion of like, why even, but damn, are my thoughts really even that different? It's a good point. It's a good question.
Because there are some games, like, you have to think about it. Because when you think of PC, like PC gaming, you think of people with like monster rigs, right?
Mm-hmm.
Not everybody has one.
Fair point.
PCs are expensive. And to get a good computer that can run most games really well is going to cost you at least a few grand. My computer alone set me back quite a bit. And, you know, that's something I invest in because I'm primarily a PC gamer. Not everybody wants to spend that money. So where else would you go? A console. And there are some games that even I don't think I could run on my computer better than a PS5 could.
Right.
Like, if I want, like, Spider-Man, I feel like my computer would struggle a little bit running 4K. Or I could just get, like, a silky smooth performance ray trace 60. Not have to worry about it, don't have to worry about optimizations, don't have to worry about drivers. It's just, you don't need to worry about it. You just put in your console, make sure it's updated, and go.
I don't know. Like, I think that it would be. I just think. I mean, I don't know, because like, once again, like maybe I'm stuck in like the old school thought of like, you know, having an exclusive drop on a specific platform, like that being a huge boon for the platform as a whole, right? Like, I still think that like that in a way defines like why I bought a PlayStation 5, right? And why I haven't gone and like made a PC. You know what I'm saying? Just because, like, you know, I bought a PS5 for the PlayStation games, period, right? And like, I know on Discord I was saying like, hey, I bought a PS5 because I wanted to play PlayStation games at the highest quality on console, thus me getting a PS5 because my preferred platform is console, right? I think that line of thinking checks out completely, right? But when those same PlayStation games drop on PC as well, how do I feel about that? I don't know. Like, I just think it would be like, damn, like, I'm not getting the best experience. You know, I'm getting the best experience on console, absolutely. You know, and then it's like, Kev, like, did you feel anything about playing Horizon Zero Dawn yesterday on your PS5 when you know that there's a better version on PC? Well, I don't have access to it, so there is that, right?
Like,
but if I did have access to it, would I feel a different way? It's a very interesting thing that I don't know if I'm gonna feel fully until it actually happens. I know that like sounds dumb, sounds like I'm dodging the question, but I'm not entirely sure. But I just know, like, it would be a different dynamic if it was day and day on PC as well, you know? And I think that'd be a whole different conversation.
I mean, think about it. Horizon Zero Dawn launches on PS4 and PC, same day.
Okay.
You don't have a computer that could run it.
You're right.
So why bother? Like, why bother worrying about it? Like, I just don't have that. It's inaccessible to me. Like,
right.
There are people with nicer cars than I do, but I'm not gonna beat myself up over it every time I have to drive somewhere because I don't have it.
That's interesting point.
So
interesting point.
If I don't have a computer that could run a game very well, I have my console where it's dedicated to run well, unless you're Cyberpunk.
Yeah.
So, and that's where I go. Like, if I don't think my computer could run a game very well, and I could have like a decent experience with it, I'll buy it on a console without hesitation.
Right.
But since I am fortunate enough to have a computer where it can run most games fairly well, I don't need to worry about it. But I'm in the minority here. There are people that have baseline computers. And that's just not something that they can feasibly do. So the best thing is a console. And there are people porting and modding Uncharted 4, Uncharted Lost Legacy into the PC where you get 4K, 120 frames. But is that something everybody can do? No. It's not feasible. You're directly comparing yourself to a group of people that you don't even want to be in, but you still want some kind of like hold. Like, there's some people, like, I'm not saying this is you, but there's some people out there that they treat exclusives like almost like an elitist, like a club. It's like, you want to play my games, you got to come on my console. It's like, one, you're a consumer. Sony doesn't know you. Two, why?
No, I'm definitely not on that side.
Yeah,
right?
I know.
Again, no names, but like, we saw many of people out here this week wilding in terms of like canceling their PS Plus subscriptions, fucking selling their PS5s, like selling their PS4s. I don't know what you observed, but I observed some very interesting things this week when this news came out that Uncharted 4 was coming to PC. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know.
Very, very, very questionable things that I'm like, you're just okay. All right, like, again, like,
honestly,
that's the
help.
side. I mean, low key.
I'm saying you're like, if you're upset about it, everybody's allowed to react to news the way that they need to. Like, but that doesn't mean that you have free reign over like reacting any way you can. There's accountability in that. And if you're throwing a temper tantrum, it's like, I'm going to cancel my PS Plus subscription, I'm going to throw my PS5 into the river. If you're reacting rashly and almost like you've been betrayed by a corporation, you really need to take a step back and understand that they're a corporation and they don't care about what you feel.
Yeah, that's a big thing too.
Yeah,
like
I don't know. They treat like it's like, oh, I'm in a relationship with Sony, like, and
like,
they betrayed
no.
me. It's like you are a consumer. They could not give less of a shit if you never bought a product from them again.
Like if you view yourself more than like a consumer with a preference, right? Like I'm a consumer of Apple products because I prefer Apple. I'm a consumer of Sony and PlayStation because I prefer a PlayStation. That should be the extent of it, right? Like unless like you invest in them and I guess that's a whole different, ball of worms if you want. But yeah, that's kind of where the buck stops with me.
Isn't it a can of worms?
What the fuck did I say?
You said a ball.
A ball of worms, huh? Damn. Interesting. Ball of worms. You know what? That's the new one. Fuck the can.
I'm not using ball of worms.
Why are they in a can? Why?
You're opening a can because there's an action. You're willingly and consciously opening a can of worms. You're consciously opening something that you know will be unpleasant.
I was thinking like you're like sewing some mittens, and
you really want to continue down this path?
No, I don't.
I'm giving you a chance here.
Bottom line, it's like damn, I forgot my point. I was gonna say that off.
Corporation.
I mean, yeah, like bottom line, it goes down to look. I like exclusives because, on average, right, exclusives tend to be 100% tailor-made for the platform that they come on, and they end up being better quality games from technical levels, not even necessarily like story-wise, because that's very subjective. But on a technical level, they can do better technical things with the game if it's tailor-made to one console, right, as opposed to multi-platform. That's why I like exclusive games. It's not for these fucking lists that people want to make on Twitter and like, argue about dumb shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, so. It's... I don't know. There's almost an entitlement that I put this in the Discord, like, this is still what I believe. There's almost an entitlement that some people have that I spent money on this console, I should get every game exclusively on this console.
Mm-hmm.
Which is almost selfish, I feel. Like,
is it selfish? Yeah, I mean, a little bit. Like, yeah, I can see that. Yeah, I don't know.
You bought a ticket into a club. It's like, hey, what if we let other people enjoy parts of this club? No. I'm in the club, and if they want in the club, they have to buy in the way I did.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
like we talked about the Chinese demographic in China. There are I remember reading a statistic. I don't remember exactly, so this could be inaccurate. But from the extent of my memory, I remember there are 350 million.
That's the number I was thinking too. Thank God.
PC gamers in China. And imagine you release something, Spider-Man. Spider-Man is by far the most profitable superhero in the world.
Oh yeah, for sure.
People love Spider-Man. You put Spider-Man 2 on PS5 and PC, those sales are gonna be bussin'. Because you know damn well I'm buying both.
Oh, facts, bro.
Like I'll buy it on PS5 and I'll buy it on my PC. Like,
yes, sir.
I'll support that no matter what. So it does make it a little difficult, but that's what porting teams are for.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't have to be Insomniac's A team developing Spider-Man 2 and porting it. you have trusted porters people that that specialize in these kinds of projects, like for example Bluepoint and remasters and remakes. You have a dedicated team in the Sony family. It's like, hey, you're familiar with our hardware, you're familiar with how we develop games, port this to PC so that it runs smoothly and that people can enjoy it. So you have two separate teams working together, and this is where the gap comes in. It's like Spider-Man 2 initially releases for a year on PS5 exclusively, but in that year, the porting team has a certain amount of time, whether it be a year, 2 years, or whatever, to release it on PC a year later, and that helps bolster sales because you have people that are excited to play the game and can't, and now they have an avenue where they can, or I don't know, or it's like games take a little longer to come out where they come out on both PC and PlayStation consoles on the same day and date. Regardless, I don't see how this hurts anybody other than some feelings of dedicated fans. It's a deeper investment because it costs money to port games. However, the avenue for profit, like we just recently mentioned with Horizon, was a 250% return on investment.
Yeah.
So,
which it would take so many more sales and a way bigger install base to even come close to 250% return on investment if it was a new IP launching on one platform. You know what I'm saying? There's no fucking shot that I forgot how much Last of Us Part 2 took to develop. Shit, I forgot. For example, Red Dead 2 was a $500 million development cost. Right?
Wild.
250% of that is fucking ludicrous. There's no way. But since the game was already done, they can have a return on investment that's much, much higher on another platform.
Well, that's 1.25 billion if my math is correct.
Yeah, that's absurd. There's
a Marvel
no shot.
movie.
Yeah, there's literally no shot. So yeah, man.
So
it's pretty cool.
And I don't know, it's not a monetary loss that people are concerned about, because you ask a Sony or one of those rabid Sony fans on Twitter is do you care that Sony is losing money? Most of the time they're gonna say no, or they're going to lie and say yes. I'm sad this company that, unless they invested in, which is not that's a different variable and a different conversation in itself. But the average just fan, it's do you care that Sony is losing money? No. Why are you upset that games are coming to PC? They should be exclusives only. Why? Because that's the PlayStation console would die without exclusives. Would you like to rephrase that statement? It's just no. The Xbox is still alive and kicking. It's doing pretty well. Game Pass is super profitable. And Game Pass is a whole different thing, because Game Pass is a subscription for PC games. You pay $15 a month for the Ultimate, and you get to play your games on your computer. Or you can just buy them. And it's crazy profitable. So at the bottom line, people don't care that Sony's losing money because the PS5 sells at a loss. They care that people don't have to buy a PlayStation console. It's I went through Wario 64 and I had to get my PS5, and you're telling me that these people get to play on their computers? Yes? Get over it. Yeah. It's the people that try to cancel. It's we shouldn't cancel Student Debt because I had to pay for it. It's great. We shouldn't stop the trolley because it killed those people before. That hypothetical is you're gonna stop the trolley. or it's gonna run.
I haven't heard that one, but I am pro cancel student debt. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Like 100%. Yeah. Come on now. Slide that shit over here. You know what I'm saying? you know what I'm saying, bro?
No, like there's a hypothetical where the original hypothetical was a trolley and you have a lever.
Okay.
And you can either let the trolley keep going and it'll run over and kill 5 people. But if you don't stop it, the trolley will explode or whatever. And there are 5 people stuck in there. So who do you choose?
Oh damn. Okay.
So in this modified hypothetical, it's you have a lever to stop the trolley, but do you? Because think about the people that have already been killed by it. You might as well let it happen to them too, so it's fair.
Oh, I see what you mean.
Everybody gets the same punishment.
Right.
Which is weird.
Yeah, I see. Right.
That's why some people are like, "Oh, don't cancel student debt because I had to pay for it." I was like, okay.
Yeah, I think that's a really dumb argument. I think that's like the argument of like, "Oh yeah, no, it shouldn't be canceled because I had to pay it." Like that's just really fucking stupid. Like, no, that's super dumb. Super dumb.
But
I agree.
I don't know. That's just how I perceive that some people feel about PlayStation consoles. Like, "Oh, I had to work to get this console." It's like,
I see.
Not everybody has a computer. Not everybody has a computer that's capable of running these games because these games look great, and that means that they're harder to run. Like,
and yeah. I hear that. We'll definitely see how it grows and develops. You know what I'm saying? Like, I bet, honestly, I would not be surprised if The Last of Us makes it over to PC, God of War as well. You know, for sure. So. We'll see how it all shakes out. But next up here, this was just some ballsy statements here. So again, still talking about the investment meeting. Sony released that the market share of the PS4 was 45%, right? Which is fucking insane. But they want to go for over 50% market share with the PS5. Like that is their target. Where out of the consoles that are out there, they want over half to be PS5 that are in use this generation. Do you think they're gonna do it at Ragnarok?
Considering how well the PS5s have been selling, I think they could do it.
Yeah, same. It has a like
that's 9%.
The PS5 is on a crazy momentum right now. Like it's a crazy run in spite of them not being able to stock the motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Like how is it, bro? How is it that the PS5 is selling more units this time in the same time frame as the PS4 with less inventory out there? With less access, like that just shows you that like there is a fever for the PS5, and I think that they could. I'm not gonna like say for certain, but I think it's pretty likely that they're gonna be able to cross that 50% market share for sure. I think it's gonna happen.
I agree.
Definitely. Yeah, especially like they have such a strong early generation than what they did with PlayStation 4, you know? Like, we have Miles, we're about to get Ratchet, we're about to get Horizon, God of War is here pretty soon as well, relatively speaking, in the overall kind of PS5 generation, like, factions, you know? Like it's gonna be interesting, for sure. I think it could only go up, you know? If it doesn't, I'll eat my words, but I don't see how it could not go up, you know? So, pretty cool. Right there. Next up here, this one is like not really a story. This is just something that happened. So the original slide, they were showing like, you know, their best launch lineup, right? Like, and they showed PS4 Metacritic of the launch games on the PS4. Then they showed PS5 launch games and everything. And then they showed like the best ever post-launch lineup for any console, which, you know, Ratchet's there, Final Fantasy 16 is there, Returnal, Horizon, etc. Then there's God of War Ragnarok. Right, the big thing was that they used a fan-made God of War Ragnarok logo, and a lot of people, including myself, kind of ran with it, saying like, okay, is this the official title for God of War? Like is it officially called God of War Ragnarok? We even had oh my god, I'm forgetting man's name. Shit. In Sony Santa Monica. Oh, Corey Barlog. Yeah. You know, he like did a little SMH gif on Twitter after this whole thing came out, because like he was like, fuck, like they weren't supposed to do that. like the name officially hasn't been dubbed God of War Ragnarok. Like that's just what we've been calling it. It's not the official name, allegedly, at least yet. I think it probably is, but they went back and changed it to just the God of War logo. So I just thought that was a pretty interesting story. But like, do you agree that like the name of the game is probably God of War Ragnarok? Like, that's probably the name of the game, right?
Something like that, yeah.
I mean, I like it. I think it rolls well. You know, it definitely seems like it's gonna borrow that like same thing where, you know, Infamous Second Son wasn't called Infamous 3 Second Son. It was just called Second Son, and they just used subtitles, right? Just to make sure that people, you know, don't feel like they have to play 1, 2, and 3 to play X game 4. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But yeah, I just thought that was just a interesting thing, I guess, and that like, you know, God of War Ragnarok maybe the name of the game. It might not be. Who knows? What I did find interesting was that like they directly cite Metacritic scores in showing that the PS5 launch lineup is better than the PS4 based off of Metacritic. I think that was a very interesting addition and really does show you how much they care about Metacritic over at Sony. You know, like we knew they did from the Jason Schreier Bloomberg article and everything, but it is now very apparent that like, yeah, they care about Metacritic. You know what I'm saying? So pretty cool right there.
Yeah, because that's how they know that their games are worth it.
Yeah, they really want a high Metacritic score for sure. They definitely do. Which, I mean, at the end of the day, it's like you can't even really knock them for it. Like, yeah, I want our games to be reviewed high. You know, some people take that as like a negative thing, but when you really boil it down, like when you really break it down, right? My parents demanded.
Are we really gonna compare this to a report card?
I mean, bro, that's what the fuck they expected out of me. You know, like I like like, I mean, like, you know, like I was not allowed to get C's and below. If I got C's and below, I got grounded. You know, I was expected to achieve A's and B's only. You know what I'm saying?
Shout out to Hispanic parents.
I mean, that is very much Hispanic parents for sure. But like, I don't know, like maybe that's why I don't see the problem with Sony execs being somewhat, you know, not necessarily hellbent, but like, I mean, like in some ways hellbent, but like very, very focused on like a high Metacritic. I don't see the problem with that, to be honest with you. Like, I really genuinely don't. You know, not to say that like every game needs a high Metacritic. I'm not even saying that. And I know like that ends up somewhat being the case when you have executives that focus on Metacritic, but I personally don't see the problem with it.
It's not like a Bethesda thing. At least to the current knowledge, it's not like a Bethesda thing where they withheld bonuses for Metacritic scores.
As far as we're aware, I don't think that's the case. Yeah.
So, but I mean, I agree with you. Like, what's the big deal? I mean, these are like first-party Sony developers, at least most of them. It's like, hey, I don't really care what you do as long as it makes money. But, I mean, money is associated with a Metacritic score. Like, when people, like, if a game has a 50 on Metacritic, I probably won't buy it. Because there's a reason that it's that low.
I mean, bro, I was going to buy Biomutant. I said that many a times over the past few years, but it's not reviewing well. So I'm gonna wait for a sale. You know?
Oh yeah.
It just be like that.
Yeah, no. Biomutant scores is what. I mean, there's a reason that it's scoring that low, and I watched some gameplay of it, and that game looks like trash.
Yeah,
don't buy it. Don't buy it.
No, I mean, like, I'm gonna buy it at like a very low price. Like, I'm waiting for like a $20, $30 type vibe. You know what I'm saying?
I saw Biomutant in a Walmart bin, like those $5 and under game Walmart bins. I'm gonna keep walking.
I mean, hey man, like I will say, if I personally wouldn't mind the PS Plus type vibe, I would welcome that personally. You know what I'm saying?
It pushes for quality. Like that's what Metacritic is there for.
I agree. 100%.
Metacritic puts it like it's like the Rotten Tomatoes for video games.
Yeah.
Where critics come in and they talk about the games that they're allowed to play. Like, we got review copies. We're distinguished and like trusted reviewers, so this is what we think about these games. Should you buy them or not? It's a career. Not caring about like scores invalidates an entire career. So I don't see the issue with striving for perfection. Not obsessing over perfection, but shooting for it. Make the best game. Yeah. Make the best game that you are capable of making.
Exactly.
And we will do the rest. We will fund you and we will support you. Make the best game that you can possibly make. That's all that Sony's asking for, to the extent of our knowledge.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So,
yes, sir. I agree.
I don't see an issue with Metacritic, like, and it's an investment report. If I'm investing in something, I'd say, hey, you see all these 40s? That's what you're paying for. I would pull my investment. It's like, why am I even here? Like, if you're not going to make good games that sell well and are good, well, if I'm an investor, I only care if you're making money. And that don't sell well, but why am I even here? You pull your investment. It's like, hey,
yes, sir.
Look at all these games, critically acclaimed games by us. Here's the Metacritic scores to prove it. It's like, hey, that's pretty good. You're going to keep your investment. I understand it being there, and I understand the focus for it. On a business aspect, it all makes sense. I don't understand why people would be upset about that.
Yeah, man. Like, yeah, I don't know. Like, at the end of the day, right, like, I can't help but think about Days Gone, right? Where, like, one of the bullet points that was cited as to why it's not getting a sequel and wasn't greenlit for a Days Gone 2 was a part of its Metacritic, right? And like, hey, I liked Days Gone, I thought it was an 8 out of 10. I've said it 1,000 times, whatever, right? That was a good game, good game, right? But at the end of the day, if Sony doesn't feel that like it was up to snuff or whatever, and I know there's a lot of reasons why that is. It's not necessarily Ben's fault. I get that. At the end of the day, it's like, I mean, it is what it is.
They're a business.
It is what it is. Yeah, like, if it didn't score high, it didn't score high. At least to their eyes. Now, do I think 80 is a low score? Absolutely fucking not. Do I wish Days Gone 2 would have gotten a sequel? Absolutely. But at the end of the day, it is what it is. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? And like, I don't think necessarily like it's a inherently like bad thing for Sony to use like one of the citing sources, because it was only one of them. It's not the main reason, but like one of them being that Metacritic score, amongst other things. Like, I'm assuming the licensing fee for Days Gone had something to do with it, because that was developed on Unreal Engine 4. Then you ask the question, why did you let Ben Studio use Unreal Engine 4 if that was going to be one of the reasons why you wouldn't let them make a sequel? That's a whole other discussion. But bottom line, I don't see the problem with Sony using Metacritic as one of its citations for a parameter of success.
Well, did Days Gone sell well?
Yes, it did. It had a big long tail, and it sold a lot overseas. Like a lot more than usual. For sure. Like, people overseas love the Days Gone. Love Days Gone. Yeah.
Good for them.
Super. Yeah, good for them. Good for them. You know what else this is good for? Next up here, almost half of PlayStation gamers are women. You know what I'm saying? So this was also in the investment call where they did note that approximately 41% of PlayStation 5 and PlayStation 4 owners are women. Compare this to just 18% on PS1, and clearly the demographic for consoles is growing. This is fucking cool. This I thought was pretty neat. You know what I'm saying? Not anything too crazy to report back here, whatever, you know what I'm saying? But like, shout out to the queens out there.
Shout out to
women.
women.
Playing these quality games. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully not a lot of you are toxic. You know what I'm saying?
Bro.
You know what? That was mean. That was mean because there's plenty of douchebag men that are playing PlayStation games for sure. For sure. You know what I'm saying? But I like to think that we're the kings on PlayStation. You know what I'm saying, Ragnarok? You know what I'm saying? I like to think so. You know?
It kind of came out of nowhere, gamer.
I mean, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's just cool that, you know, hey, you know, there's a lot of queens out here, you know, playing some Miles Morales, you know, some Returnal, you know. So, shout out to that. Shout out to that.
Shout out to women.
Big ups. And lastly here, the last news point here. Damn, it's a long fucking show. Holy shit.
What do you mean? Like, some of our shows reach like 2.5 hours.
That is true. I feel like
if we cut it right now, it would be one of those shorter episodes.
Really?
Yeah. It takes like look at the old save slot episodes. They're like 2 hours, 2:20 average.
Never forget the famous list. Was it Road to which
Road to PS5?
Good times.
I was struggling so bad. I was like, hopefully, like today's show's pretty engaging. I was really tired. And it's like, hopefully today's show's like I got stuff to talk about, keep me engaged, like keep me sharp. It took every ounce of willpower to stay awake.
Look, man,
I tried.
And by we, I mean me, you know, came a long way, you know, and like, hey, you know, lists, you know, sometimes aren't the vibe to a particular, you know, size of list, you know. Top 10, you know, we could take a top 10, but I don't know about top 200 and whatever the fuck that was about PS5 games.
I blocked that out. Honestly, that whole show, I blocked it out.
I can't believe it's still up, guys. We want to go check it out. It's still up. But we did get one more, well, not the last one, but like another casting for The Last of Us HBO series. Meryl Dandridge will be reprising her role as Marlene. Yes, the mocap, I believe the mocap and the voice actor for Marlene in The Last of Us and The Last of Us Part 2 for a brief little bit there, will be Marlene in The Last of Us HBO show. So not too much to say there, but I mean, you have any thoughts? I personally love Marlene. I think she's a great character.
Yeah,
obviously, yeah, like obviously she shined a lot brighter in the first Last of Us than the second one. You know what I'm saying? Just more of her character in that one for obvious reasons. But yeah, it makes sense for her to be in this HBO series since this series is adapting the first game. So I think it's great, man. I think it's really, really cool. But you know what I couldn't help to think too? Like, do you think it's gonna feel weird to have Pedro Pascal, right, play Joel, Bella Ramsey to play Ellie, Gabriel Luna to play Tommy, all different actors portraying these characters, but then have a direct like casting for Marlene, like directly from the game? Do you think that's gonna be a weird type of dynamic, or do you think it's gonna be okay?
I think it'll be okay. I think it'll be like, it's hard not to, like, when I think Joel, to not think a Troy Baker.
Right.
Like, Pedro Pascal's gonna do great. He does great in everything he's in. It's just, it'll be a shift to see like a Hispanic Joel.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the only, Marlene will be the only like 1-to-1.
as far as you know, I mean, like maybe they get Bill's voice actor. Like, I don't know, maybe.
But I think I'm excited for the show. I think it'll be cool.
Yeah.
So,
dude, I would love a full. Sorry.
Oh, you go.
I mean, I would love a full episode of just like Bill's Town. I think that'd be a cool like 48-minute episode. I think that'd be really cool. Just like all the booby traps and shit, and like just a nice little side episode of just Bill's Town and everything. I think that'd be fun. Cool. I'm excited for this show, man. I bet this gonna be some fire. We'll see.
We'll see.
But what is definitely gonna be fire is question of the week, the main topic here for the show. Let's review the Horizon Forbidden West State of Play. I'm assuming you watched it.
I did.
Okay. I watched it many a time. I think I watched it like 3 times, to be honest with you. It's about, of course, Horizon for Forbidden West. In case you missed the State of Play, I left the link in the description if you want to catch up. For some reason, if you haven't seen it. And there's a few other things I want to bring up involving, this State of Play. But first off here, this was Sony's most watched single game State of Play. So they have multi-game State of Plays and just single ones that focus on Ghost of Tsushima, Last of Us Part 2, Rise and Clank, etc. Right? And I think there's one for there wasn't one for Demon Souls, was there?
I don't think so.
Yeah, the Push Square article is citing Demon Souls, but I don't think there was a State of Play for Demon Souls. Or am I fucking tripping? I don't know. But it now has 2.5 million views on YouTube. As of this article, it's probably more than that for sure by now. But with the likes of Ghost of Tsushima at 1.9, Last of Us Part 2 at 1.5, Rise of Clank Rift Apart at 971,000, almost to 1 million views. So it's pretty cool seeing the amount of attention that Horizon is getting already, And I think like a lot of these numbers is having to do with the thirst of games for PlayStation 5 from first party, just like seeing how the game looks from a sequel perspective and everything. So pretty cool for those numbers.
I thought you were going to go another direction when you said thirst. I was like,
Oh, I mean, I'm sure some people are thirsting for Aloy. I mean, not me.
Not me.
Aloy is great. I like her attitude a lot in the game. I think she's very, witty and like kind of has a bit of like humor to her. Like I really like her personality and character, but not my particular visual
cup of tea.
How I put it? Yeah, just a cup of tea sounds even kind of harsh too. Like I don't know, just not my visual preferences. You know what I'm saying? She's still a queen, but just not my queen. You know what I'm saying? You follow me?
I feel you.
You follow me. The only one that's been like my queen recently that I've seen in a new game, bro, is Forspoken. That Square game made by the Final Fantasy 15 team.
Yeah.
Like, have you seen what she looks like?
I believe so.
Bruh. She looks like some queen status right there. You know what I'm saying? For sure. But besides all that, let's talk about, of course, the main gameplay here. Arachnite, you weren't a huge fan of Horizon Zero Dawn. How did this footage tickle your fancy?
It looks a lot more fun than Zero Dawn did. Or, was. Like, it feels a little more video gamey than Zero Dawn. Like Zero Dawn took gameplay wise took itself very seriously. Like that melee animation was pretty cool.
Yeah, in the second game.
Yeah, in Forbidden West.
Yeah. Oh, like the ultimate type of ability, like the fucking limit break looking ass type.
Yeah, like the limit break.
That shit looked clean, bro. I was like, oh shit, let's go, baby. Yeah, bro, that looked great. That looked great. But go ahead.
Not it looks a lot more it still takes itself seriously, as a serious narrative, but gameplay wise, it looks a lot more fun.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm happy about.
I think the game looks great, right? Like, I think it looks really, really, really good. And, like, I implore everyone, if you have a 4K TV, go watch this game in 4K. Because, oh my God, guys, like, Jesus Christ. Like, I knew it would look better, obviously, in the 4K version that they put out after the stream for State of Play. But I'm looking at it right now in 4K on my other monitor right now. I'm literally just looking at footage, bro. This game looks fucking incredible. Like, it looks really, really good. And, like, I know this game started off as a PS4 game, right? And it got moved over to PS5 and PS4. I'm curious as to how the game looks on PlayStation 4. You know? I'm very curious because, obviously, you're the main, you know, level tester here where, not level tester, I don't know why I said that, but, like, you're the main person I go to because you played Miles Morales on PS4 and PS5, right? So, how do you think this game's going to shake up on PS4?
I think it'll struggle a little bit. It's not, I don't know. If you could play it on your PS5, definitely do it. I don't know. I think it should have been an exclusive to PS5.
As do I. Let's hope for God of War. You know,
I did read that God of War was gonna be a PS5 exclusive. Like
they haven't. Yeah, like that was a thing that we talked about. No, sorry, not a thing we talked about. Like that I saw in the news this week. I'm waiting to hear from Sony specifically in the nature of Ragnarok. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like there's a chance that shit could go on the PS4. You know what I'm saying?
Have fun with long waiting times.
That's what I'm saying, bro. Yeah, like, at least this game on PS5 is looking really, really, really good, man. Like, I think Aloy's hair looks very, very greatly rendered and animated and all that. And the physics with her hair, especially in the water as well, like, when she goes underwater and everything, I think looks super good. Water looks great. Like, yeah, man, there's a lot to love in this game. And this gameplay footage inclined me to go back to the original and kind of see how that game looked after a few years of not playing it. This game looks a lot better than the first game. You know, a lot of people were making the point and, like, trying to say that it looks very similar to Horizon Zero Dawn, and I would ask them to go and look at Horizon Zero Dawn footage and then look at this footage. Like, we're talking like an Uncharted 3 to Uncharted 4 type of jump here. You know, I really firmly think that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think this game looks incredible, like, visually, and just, you can, like, I mean, we haven't played it, but just, like, looking off of gameplay wise, how you fucking like that hook shot, Arachnite. Hold on, let's do a full stop. She looks like Spider-Man. What do you think, Arachnite?
I always love grappling hooks. Any kind of grab.
Yes, sir.
Grappling hooks increase your game by a whole point out of 10.
A whole point.
I'm not joking. Point. I'm not joking.
No, yeah.
Like, every good game has a grappling hook. I want you to think about your
Returnal?
favorite games, except for grappling hook.
Except for what game?
Except for, I think, like, Mass Effect. Mass Effect doesn't have a grappling hook.
Okay, fair point. Well, I mean, like, it just doesn't have one. But, like, out of the grappling hook games, they're all fire.
Yeah. If your game has a grappling hook, it's more likely to be a good game. But
Doom Eternal
has the best grappling hook. Like, it like, just for combat, amazing. I still play Doom Eternal. Like, it's like, you know, like, if I don't feel like relaxing one night, if I just want to be, you know, engaged, like, high intensity, I'll play Doom. I don't even have to have background music because the game has great music. Just go in, shred some demons, get some practice in, and it's fun. Like, Final Fantasy VII Remake had a grappling hook. Like, Spider-Man is a grappling hook. Uncharted 4.
Wait a minute. Full stop, bro. I was like, wait a minute. What grapple hook are you talking about in Final Fantasy VII? And then I remembered it. Like, it's not like you can use that grapple hook like anywhere. But yeah, sure. It does. It does have a grapple hook, sure.
Final Fantasy VII's grappling. Do you remember that scene after you fought the? I think it was the Airbuster, when you were climbing up the tower, and the ground, like you're high up in the air.
And you go down with Biggs, right? No, Wedge.
No. You're with Tifa and Barrett when you're going to save Aerith.
Oh, right. Yes, I do.
And Barrett's grappling hook breaks.
Yeah.
So Cloud saves Tifa, and then Tifa shoots at Barrett, and she's the only reason he's alive.
Dude, that was hot.
Like,
that was hot.
Cloud goes, saves Tifa, Tifa shoots Barrett. And the only reason that the grappling hook broke is because the whole thing was falling apart. That whole scene was fire. Like, I'll just say, you know what? It's time to rewatch that scene. And I'll rewatch it. And it's so good. It's so good.
We're gonna fucking play that shit in 60 frames in a few weeks, bro. Let's fucking...
Like, I think...
We're so close.
I think that was my favorite moment in the entire game. Like,
I can't wait. I can't wait to play it again, bro. I can't
so
wait.
good.
Definitely save slot listeners. Expect Final Fantasy VII Remake integrated talk for sure. But no, I really love the grappling hook and of course the Breath of the Wild glider type thing. You know what, Arachnite? Can we make a stand right now? May I?
You may.
Okay, here's what we're gonna do. I just did it. People keep saying, oh, this fucking glider is like Breath of the Wild. It's always Breath of the Wild, does this and that Horizon does this and that. You know what? We're gonna cut the bullshit, okay? Listen here. That glider is like the infamous 1 glide. Alright? That's what we're gonna do, okay? It's no longer the Breath of the Wild glide. You know what? Fuck Breath of the Wild. Fuck that game. Alright? Fuck that.
Alright, I guess we got the hot take of the episode.
Horizon Forbidden West uses the infamous glide mechanic that was popularized with Infamous 1 in 2011. I think the game came out... No, 2009.
Yes.
It came out 2009. Okay?
Infamous 2 was 2011.
Yes. Alright? I don't want to hear Breath of the Wild anymore. Okay? I'm sick of it. Alright?
Damn.
So, Horizon Forbidden West has taken the popular infamous mechanic, of course, of gliding from a high point. You know,
Breath of the Wild was Infamous 1 gliding. Forbidden West is Infamous 2 gliding with that upgrade that gives you the little boost when you start.
Yes, sir.
And you move faster.
So
Infamous 2 has a grappling hook. You remember the last power, the tether?
Yes, sir. Fuck.
After that conversation we had on what Infamous 3 could have been, your boy had some ideas.
Write it all down, because we're gonna do it. Write it all down.
Like,
write it down, baby. Definitely.
I was thinking about it like throughout the entire day. It's like, should I write a script?
I personally think you should.
Like,
at least an outline.
Yeah, like an outline, but like, I don't know. Infamous, like today, isn't today like the 12-year anniversary, or yeah, like the 12-year anniversary of Infamous 1?
I thought it was yesterday, but
it's either today or it was yesterday.
Yeah.
Still, happy birthday to one of the best games of the PS3.
Happy birthday. But like, I know we keep getting off topic, but like Horizon Forbidden West looks great, obviously. There's so the new stuff that we saw was of course the glider, the zip line type thing, and the melee combat definitely got upgraded for sure in a lot of ways. There's that ultimate attack move now that you can do that looks dope as fuck. Hopefully there's more of those and more variations of those. And also excuse me, at the end of the state of play, they had devs come on, and they said Aloy's spear specifically is an option of melee combat. So it looks like there's going to be other different weapons for melee that you could get in the game, just based off what that told me. How did you like the mammoth fight at the end of the gameplay trailer?
Looks hot.
Yeah, bro.
I really liked what I saw.
Yeah, man. It looks it looks really, really good. Like if the fights are gonna go like that, if that's how we're gonna be fighting like huge machines, bro, in the game, like that's gonna be fucking awesome, man. Cause the like first game that is there, but it doesn't look anything as good as that. You know what I'm saying? And like the way the environment reacts to the attacks that the mammoth does, like walls crumbling and even like the sand being moved from the like plasma blasters and whatever, I think it's superb. The music in that boss fight and the music as a whole in the game is fucking amazing. Like there's a lot of good here, bro. There's a lot of good here. So now that you've seen this, are you more or less inclined to play through Horizon Zero Dawn one more time on PC? I know you weren't the biggest fan of the game, but did this do anything in that department?
For the original, no. But I will be buying Forbidden West day one.
Okay. Definitely. I see. Yeah, I want to replay Horizon Zero Dawn literally right now. Who knows when I'll replay it? You know, maybe a little bit closer to the release for Forbidden West, which we should talk about that as well. You know, it did not get a release date at this day of play. I honestly thought it was gonna get one. To be honest with you, I was pretty shocked by that. But Guerrilla Games did put out a tweet involving the release date saying this after the state of play. They said, quote, "Thanks for watching our Horizon Forbidden West gameplay reveal. We don't have an exact release date just yet, but development is on track and we will have an update for you very soon. Thank you, as always, for your ongoing support." I gotta keep it honest. You know, I'm not sure I believe that this game is coming out this year anymore.
No, I doubt it.
You know what I'm saying? Like, there's really little things that they could tell me that give me a why they didn't announce it this day of play. You know what I'm saying? I don't know, man. Yeah, like, I still think that there's a chance, for sure, but I wish that we got a date here, you know, because I would love a October release for Horizon, you know, or even a November, fuck it, you know, September through November, I would have loved to have this game, you know, but we'll see. But definitely, like, I'll play the first game near the release of Horizon Forbidden West, of course. But yeah, man, like, I really loved it. I think it was a great showing. I think it was a great state of play. I don't think anything will top the February 25th state of play this year on my birthday when we got Final Fantasy VII Remake Integrate announced. That was just going to be my favorite state of play forever. But this was a really good showing of the game. I think it looks great, and it looks like, you know, it's putting to rest those concerns that I especially had, or slash still have, that I think you have as well, where it's like, how good can a PS5 game look and feel and be if it has to also be on PS4? And we see here that, like, this game looks great. You know, this game looks really good. So, I don't know. Like, maybe those concerns that we have, like, aren't really that necessary to have, you know? But yeah, I don't know. We'll see. And did you like, I mean, what was your favorite part of the gameplay that we saw?
Honestly, that limit break was the thing that comes out the most when I think about the state of play.
Fuck yeah.
That limit break looked really cool.
Yeah, definitely.
Is that what we're going to call it now?
It's 100% a limit break. I don't care what they call it in game. That's a limit break. All right.
I'm cool with that.
That's 100% a limit break for sure. And actually, it looked like it was attached to the D-pad ability. Actually, like, if you look at that clip, it looks like it was function on the D-pad. So maybe you can do multiple ones or different stuff like that, or I don't know. Just eyeballing, you know. But what was another thing I had to say about the game? Oh, right. So we didn't see Aloy have the ability to like take over one of the flying machines. That was something that we all kind of really wanted. But I mean, hey, having that grapple and having that glide, I think it's gonna be good enough. You know what I'm saying? Like that's a lot of mobility in the game now, for sure. That I think it's gonna add a lot of verticality to the game, for sure. So I think we're in good hands, even though we don't have the ability, as far as we know, to take over those flying machines. But and yeah, Arachnite once again, another podcast. Still no word on a Horizon Zero Dawn PS5 patch, but we'll see, man. We'll see. Maybe in the future. Maybe we'll see.
Maybe.
But, yeah. Any last thoughts on Horizon for Forbidden West overall?
I'm excited to see like more and more of the game.
Yeah, for sure. It looks fucking great. I love it. It looks really good. I agree. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Like I still hope for a 2021 release, but who knows? We'll see. If it ends up slipping, I bet it won't. I think for sure the latest it'll come out is February 2022. Like at the absolute latest, I think it's February. You know, but we shall see. But until then, Arachnite, where can people find you?
I am on the PlayStation Source Discord under the same name. I am on Twitter at MWithoutFear, which will be in the description below. You know, video games, hot takes, photography. A lot of photography. And that's it for me.
Okay. Good to hear. Of course, this has been Saves Out Podcast, episode 18. Oh, our podcast can drive and shit, right?
I'm happy for it.
You know, it can. It's graduated high school. You know, it's almost ready to drink. Not yet, though. Not yet, Skippy. All right, you gotta wait a few years, okay? Saves Out Podcast, the weekly news show about any and all things PS5, PlayStation games, and PlayStation itself. You can catch the show here on youtube.com/PlayStation Source, as well as podcast services like Apple Podcasts, Google Play, Spotify, etc. via our anchor link in the description. Like the video and rate the podcast to help us get seen by more viewers so we can grow the PSS family. Down below as well, you can let us know what you like or dislike about the show and connect with us further on Twitter and Discord in the description. If you're feeling generous, feel free to hit that join button to become a member of the channel with the $1 Prince tier and the $5 King tier members, just like the $1 Prince tier members like Tabio Musa and Gameplay Sir, and $5 King tier members like Caleb Kaiser, Arachnite, SideQuest Sean, City of Ed Gaming, and the homie Owen. Check out the stream series throughout the week, like Resident Evil, and next week we could potentially have Ground Zero streams up, maybe not, but also, of course, Resident Evil as well. I will continue in the upcoming week. So, yeah, that's about it. Rate us on podcast services as well. Apple Podcasts, Spotify, rate us there. Helps out the show tremendously. And, yeah, thank you all for watching. And as always, greatness awaits.